15. That's 0734, the code for Reading, 599915.
And now this extraordinary haul of weapons was retrieved after a series of raids by police in London last September. Between them, these guns might be linked to more than 100 armed robberies and an attempted murder. Now, to prove those links, police need your help to discover where these weapons came from originally and whose hands they passed through since they left their rightful owners. Some of them are really quite unusual. And with us is David Penn from the Imperial War Museum. David, can we have a closer look at some of the rarer ones?
This is perhaps the most unusual gun here. It's an American Folsom Arms company from New York, made about the turn of the century. A 12-bore double-barrel gun could not have been legally sold in this country because it has fake British proof marks on it. The next gun is this Montenegrin Gasser revolver. This was made before the First World War in Belgium, but they were mainly sold in the Balkans. Every Montenegrin male had to carry a revolver by law. Lots of them were captured from the Turks in the First World War. This is probably a war souvenir. These days, because of its caliber, it would be an antique. Next, we have this single-barreled Harrington and Richardson 12-bore shotgun, sawn off, as all the shotguns are here. This one was imported between 1925 and 1955, and while it's a very common type of farmer's gun, this particular gun has this very unusual aluminium spacer put in to take up slack between the stock and the action, and someone may remember that. Lastly, we have this Brazilian .22 caliber Rossi revolver, a target revolver. This was imported into this country legally in 1987, and the main feature of interest about it is these deep acid etchings. It's possible that this revolver at some point was in contact with a car battery.
Well, David, thank you. If you think you recognise any of these weapons, you might be able to help clear up one of the biggest series of serious crimes in Britain since the war. So please do call if you can help. You can call the police direct on 071 230 2301, or the number here in the studio again, 081 811 8181. That's 081 811 8181.
In all honesty, there's been such a response tonight, it's really hard to know which ones to pick out. On the M6 hijack, a really good response. Incidentally, there's a £5,000 reward on this one. Several names have been suggested for the man seen buying petrol. On Photocall, there's a staggering response, especially to the job con man. On the Arthur Brumhill murder, the yellow tracksuit, there are more details on that. And now the officers are interested in anyone who owns a yellow tracksuit in the area. Rochdale indecent assault, 2 names put forward on that. Really a great deal more, and it's still coming in.
And that's just about all for tonight so far. We'll be in a better position to tell you what sort of calls and information have been coming in when we come back with the Crimewatch update. That'll be at 11:25.
And finally tonight, the BBC has been in the news so much this week that we felt that we had to add another voice, but this time on behalf of Noddy. Original artwork intended to be photographed for a future issue of the very important Noddy magazine has been stolen from BBC Enterprises in West London, not far from where I'm standing. The artwork dates back to the early 50s, and many illustrations were produced by Van Beek. That's the Dutch artist who created the original Noddy image. If you've seen them, the originals that is, here's the number. We'll be back in half an hour from now. If you can't stay up till then, don't have nightmares. Not even about big ears. Do sleep well. Good night.
Good night.